Good evening to our viewers watching on television and those joining us online across our social media platforms. I am Adana Dorik with the Tuesday, August 4th edition of the Guyana TV9 News. In the headlines tonight, no more waiting. Dr. Jagdeo says Region 10 housing backlog will be cleared by 2027. Guyana's CAROLYN RODRIGUES-BIRKETT makes bold UN Secretary General push. It is our term for the region to lead, she said. Minister Zulfikar Ali urges citizens to use Voice website to improve public services. El Niño strengthens as HYDROMET warns Guyana to prepare for hotter, drier months. And Vice President Jagdeo calls for stricter standards, accountability for contractors during LINDEN outreach. Now for the news in depth. Vice President Dr. Jagdeo on Tuesday announced that the government expects to eliminate the housing backlog in Region 10 by the end of 2027, saying enough lands have already been identified to satisfy outstanding housing applications, while outlining a series of new measures to expand home ownership across the country. Here's more. Speaking during a government public outreach at Watoka House in Linden, Dr. Jagdeo said contractors who fail to meet acceptable standards should face consequences, noting that Guyana should consider stronger licensing and accountability measures similar to systems used in other countries.
The thing is that if we go and give a foreign company to build houses, now you hear the opposition say, oh, we're giving foreigners to work. But if we have to build 40,000 houses and we rely only on our local people, it would take 300 years.
The vice president argued that while the government is committed to ensuring Guyanese contractors benefit from the country's development, they also have a responsibility to deliver quality work. He said Guyana's expanded infrastructure program, including the construction of thousands of homes, means the country cannot rely exclusively on local contractors to meet demand. Dr. Jagdeo noted that depending only on local builders would significantly slow the pace of development, while acknowledging that bringing in foreign companies often attracts criticism.
So we have to get our people work too. They got to do work, right? But they also have a duty, as you were saying, to meet certain standards, and we'd have to start enforcing that. You know, in the US, a lot of those things are self-regulated, not necessarily government, because people then go out and provide this service. They have like a bureau where you go and you register, and then it's all privately done, and they give you a rating. So when you get the rating, people go online and check your rating before they hire you.
Dr. Jagdeo also suggested that Guyana strengthen mechanism for monitoring contractors, including systems that allow the public to assess the quality of their work and track complaints, saying improved oversight would help raise standards across the sector. Hundreds of Region 10 residents gathered at Watoka House as ministries and government agencies offered a range of public services and engaged directly with residents during the outreach, which was led by the vice president. The event was briefly met by a small protest as government officials arrived, with demonstrators demanding accountability for the recent MV Barima tragedy. Protesters called for justice for the victims and reforms to Guyana's maritime sector. Despite the demonstration, the outreach continued as scheduled, with residents accessing services and raising issues with representatives from participating government agencies. Adana Dorik, Guyana TV9 News. Minister of Public Service Zulfikar Ali is encouraging citizens and public servants to use the newly launched Voice website as a direct channel to submit suggestions, raise concerns, and help improve the delivery of public services. Minister Ali said the platform, available at mpsmandate.gov.gy, was created to give people an opportunity to communicate directly with him about challenges they face and ideas they believe can make government services more efficient.
There are people who have so many good ideas within the various agencies and ministries that we have. And oftentimes we don't get the opportunity or get the time to speak with them, to hear either one, what are the challenges, or what are the recommendations that they have to fix issues within the public service so that we can serve the people a lot better. And I figure one way that I can reach out to people is have them reach to me directly. So we've developed this app, and persons can come on the app, they can put either their suggestions or an issue that they have as a public servant, and then I will respond to them directly. Every day, I will call them, I will engage with them, I will find out more if I need more details, and I will either try to fix the problem or I will explain to them why the problem cannot be fixed, or what are some of the challenges that we have, that whatever they would like to see or whatever they're recommending cannot be done.
The minister explained that he personally reviews submissions and engaged with individuals to better understand their concerns, determine possible solutions, or explain why certain requests may face challenges.
And these engagements have been very insightful. I love the fact that, the conversations that we're having move from just the challenge that a person have to recommendations that they have, how we can make the public service more efficient, how we can make the work that they're doing more efficient. And, it has been fantastic so far.
Minister Ali said the feedback received through the platform has been valuable, with many conversations moving beyond complaints to practical recommendations on improving the efficiency of the public service. He highlighted the case of a public servant from Region 6, Ms. Clark, who reached out after not receiving her salary for several months. Minister Ali said his office contacted the relevant Ministry and Human Services Department, and the issue was traced to paperwork that needed to be completed. The matter was resolved and Ms. Clark was added to the payroll. The minister also mentioned Ms. Lal, who submitted several ideas for improving public service delivery and education. He said the suggestions were discussed and some will be shared with President Ali for consideration. Minister Ali said the initiative aligns with the President's vision of having government officials remain connected with citizens and respond to issues that affect communities and workplaces. He urged citizens to visit mpsmandate.gov.gy to submit their questions, concerns, or recommendations, noting that the process takes less than a minute and provides another avenue for citizens to contribute to improving public services. Adana Dark, and TV9 News. More news after the break. Stay with us.
I know you have work to do, but come, I just need a minute of your time. It won't even take that long. So, I have a proposal. We could do besties in Punta Cana. Really need a getaway. And not to worry, I went to Sunita Travel Agency and they recommended a few hotels that do all-inclusive stays. And they're very affordable. The vibes. Let me tell you something. We do not want to miss a trip to Punta Cana. Why? Ziplining. No, I know this is not your vibe, but please, listen. Hold on, wait. I know you like Throw It Back. There's a boat party. We could go there. And then there's this thing called Buggy Adventure, some buggy something. I don't know, but I want to be a buggy or whatever it is. I just want to be a part of it. And then we got snorkeling. Oh, this thing is so ugly. Please, you be next to uglier things than this. Stop it. Trust me, you're going to love it. It'll be just you and me, Punta Cana, drinks, just having the time of our life. Not to worry. We've got many flight options, and they made sure that I went through it with me. The prices are affordable. Trust me, I know you like thinking about the budget or whatever. Remember the time when we went and we missed the flight? Yeah, when we booked with Sunita Travel Agency, even if it happens, with slim chance, they'll know what to do and we won't be stranded like we did the last time. This solid plan. You, me, Punta Cana. Cheap. It won't even hurt your pocket. Please say yes. Yes.
Welcome back. You're watching again TV9 News Bulletin. Vice President Dr. JAGDEO on Tuesday called for stricter enforcement of standards for local contractors, saying Guyana must hold builders accountable for substandard work while continuing to create opportunities for local businesses amid the country's rapid development. Here's more. Speaking during the Region 10 Public Day outreach at Watoka House in Linden, Dr. JAGDEO said housing continues to be one of the biggest concerns raised by citizens during government outreaches, but expressed confidence that applicants in the region will soon receive relief.
So it's going to take a while to clear the backlog in 4 because everyone is applying here. In the 9 other regions, we're hoping by the end of next year to clear all the backlog. So Colin Crowell and the others, I had a briefing with them, and they said to me we'd have enough house lots to clear the backlog.
Vice President Dr. JAGDEO said the situation in Region 10 differs from Region 4, where a significant backlog remains after years of limited housing development prior to 2020. He noted that while more than 36,000 house lots were developed in Region 4 during the government's previous term, many were allocated to applicants who had been waiting for years. For Region 10, however, the Vice President said officials are optimistic that the waiting list can be cleared by the end of 2027. Dr. JAGDEO also announced that nearly 1,000 residents occupying lands owned by the National Industrial and Commercial Investment Limited are expected to have their tenure regularized. According to the Vice President, NICIL has transferred a number of areas to facilitate the insurance of land titles, providing long-awaited security of tenure for affected residents. The Vice President also highlighted the significant investment required to expand housing, revealing that it costs the government approximately $5 million to develop a single house lot, even though beneficiaries purchase them for an average of $500,000.
NICIL has now transferred a number of areas for them to regularize. Almost 1,000 people who are living in this region but who don't have titles. They've been living on land owned by the bauxite company, which falls under NICIL. So we're going to try to accelerate the titling for those people who live on those NICIL lands, and they're going to work on a special project.
Vice President Dr. JAGDEO said the difference represents a major subsidy by the government as it continues to make housing more affordable for Guyanese. The Region 10 Public Day outreach brought together ministries, officials from the Ministry of Housing, and representatives from several government agencies to address residents' concerns and provide a range of public services. Adana Doric, Guyana, TV9 News. Guyana's ambassador to the United States, CAROLYN Rodrigues-BIRKETT, has declared that Latin America and the Caribbean are ready to take on the U.S. highest leadership role, promising to rebuild trust in the organization and strengthen global cooperation if elected as the next Secretary General. Details in this report. Rodrigues-BIRKETT made a statement while participating in the regional dialogue on the future leadership of United Nations hosted by the Uruguay during its tenure as pro tempore president of the Community of Latin American and Caribbean States. Addressing questions on her candidacy, the Guyanese diplomat argued that the region has the experience, expertise, and leadership capacity needed to guide the UN through a period marked by growing international challenges.
Why is it important for Latin America and the Caribbean, for a national from our region, to take this position? The answer is simple. It is our turn, and we have largely upheld this rotation.
She highlighted that the region has produced capable leaders and noted that 5 candidates have been put forward for the position of UN's Secretary General. Rodrigues-BIRKETT expressed appreciation of the government of Guyana, President Dr. Mohamed Irfaan Ali, and CARICOM for supporting her nomination, describing the backing as a significant endorsement of her campaign. She said countries across the region continue to face urgent challenges that require stronger international collaboration, including climate change, threats to global peace and security, and organized crime that crosses borders. The ambassador pointed out that many Latin American and Caribbean nations are among those affected by climate change and rely on an effective multilateral system to address problems that no country can solve alone.
We do not lack the competence or the leadership skills. 5 of us have been nominated, and I'm pleased that I received the nomination of my president and my government, and also the endorsement of CARICOM in this regard. Latin America and the Caribbean faces a number of challenges that require global decisions to address them. This include the threats to peace and security, including transnational organized crime, climate change. Many of the frontline countries facing the difficult impacts of climate change in our region. And this is why we have to ensure that multilateralism works, because it is multilateralism that will enable us all to address these global challenges.
Rodrigues-Birkett added that the demand for a more representative, effective, and rules-based international system is shared by countries across the world, not only those in her region. Reflecting on her discussions with UN member states during her campaign, she said, governments are looking for a leader who can restore confidence in the organization, manage rising geopolitical tensions, deliver meaningful reforms, and produce practical results. Her priorities include improving financial discipline within the UN, using resources more effectively to prevent conflicts, promoting a fairer regional representation, and improving humanitarian and development support for vulnerable communities. She also committed to ongoing reforms with the UN Secretariat to ensure the institution remains efficient, accountable, and prepared to respond to changing global realities. More news after the break. Stay with us.
Want to place your death announcements and in memoriam messages on Channel 9? Call 592-761-5006, 710-5008, 600-5006. Or visit our office at Lot 85A Lamaha Street, Albertown, Georgetown, Century 21 Building.
Guyana Channel 9 is now Guy TV9, proudly under new management. We're building stronger with a balanced and open platform for all advertisers. Whether you're promoting a business, service, or event, your message belongs right here. So choose your spot, news, primetime, or anytime, and reach viewers across Guyana. With affordable rates and professional service, Guy TV9 is your partner in progress. So visit us at Lot 21A, Lamaha Street, Georgetown, in the Century 21 building, or call 600-5006 or 761-5006. Guyana TV9. New leadership, fresh outlook, real results.
Welcome back. You're watching the Guyana TV9 News Bulletin. Guyana is bracing for a prolonged period of hotter than normal and drier conditions, with the Guyana Hydrometeorological Service, HYDROMET, warning that an increase in extreme heat spells is expected from August through at least October 2026 as El Niño strengthens. In its latest seasonal outlook, HYDROMET said Guyana is transitioning from the rainy season into a drier period, with temperatures expected to rise both during the day and at night while the number of wet days declines. The agency estimates that the country could experience as many as 80 hot spell days this year, significantly above the historical average of up to 30 annually. A hot spell is defined as 2 or more consecutive days of extreme temperatures. The highest number of hot spell days is forecast for regions 4, 5, 6, 8, and 10. HYDROMET explained that El Niño, which involves unusually warm ocean surface temperatures in the central and eastern equatorial Pacific, along with weaker trade winds, typically contributes to warmer and drier conditions. The expected weather pattern could place additional pressure on agriculture, water resources, electricity supply, and transportation, particularly in vulnerable hinterland communities. Farmers may face increased crop moisture stress, poorer pastures conditions, and greater water requirements for livestock as rainfall decreases. HYDROMET also warned that prolonged dry conditions could reduce water availability for domestic and economic activities, while low river levels in hinterland areas could disrupt the movement of people, goods, and essential services. The forestry sector could also face a heightened risk of bush and forest fires as vegetation becomes increasingly dry. The agency further cautioned that extreme heat could increase electricity demands as households and businesses use more cooling systems, while schools may experience greater classroom discomfort and heat-related risk. Prolonged exposure to high temperatures could also contribute to dehydration, heat exhaustion, and heat strokes, with children, older adults, people with underlying medical conditions, and outdoor workers considered particularly vulnerable. HYDROMET is urging the public to stay hydrated, conserve water, reduce strenuous outdoor activity between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m., and wear light, loose-fitting clothing. Residents are also being advised to avoid activities that could trigger fires, including burning rubbish or vegetation. Schools and farmers are encouraged to maintain adequate water supplies and monitor official weather updates, while HYDROMET stressed that periods of significant rainfall can still occur despite the overall El Niño pattern, and said it will continue monitoring conditions and issuing updates. Now for a Caribbean news brief. The Dominican Republic says it has deported more than 226,500 undocumented Haitian nationals during the first 7 months of this year. Authorities say the operation is part of an intensified effort to curb illegal migration and dismantle human smuggling networks. Human rights organizations, however, continue to express concern over the humanitarian impact of the mass deportations, particularly on vulnerable families. The government of Haiti and the United Nations have extended their cooperation framework through December 2028. The agreement is designed to strengthen collaboration in areas including security, democratic governance, economic recovery, and sustainable development, as the country continues to grapple with significant political and humanitarian challenges. Turning to international news, the World Health Organization has intensified its response to a deadly Ebola outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo, where more than 1,700 people have reportedly died. Health officials are accelerating vaccine trials and deploying additional medical teams in an effort to contain the spread of the disease and prevent it from crossing borders. Meanwhile, a deepening governance crisis has emerged within FIFA after senior football officials reportedly broke ranks with President Gianni Infantino over a failed proposal involving the sale of a stake in the FIFA World Cup. The dispute has raised fresh questions about the organization's leadership and future direction. Those are our major headlines for tonight's newscast. For more trending stories, follow our Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube platforms at GUYTV9. I'm Adana Dark. Thank you for watching.